Alrighty, as promised, continuing from where we left off. I guess I should have gone with my usual introduction, but to hell with it. Let's do one of my least favorite things, namely clearing a labyrinth while worrying about my piety. Because you see, piety decays when you spend a long time, and Okuwaru piety is a little bit of a pain for me to build up in the first place. So, in going into a place like this where I know I'm going to be spending... Wow, I feel like an idiot. I just found quite probably the exit already. Let's switch to the ordinary crossbow and poison bolts. Oh, interesting. Exit the labyrinth through the abyss. I pity the fool who actually has to make that choice due to, you know, to me that sounds like trading one form of death for another. Anyway, then that wasn't the way out, clearly, but I'm seeing black tiles again, so maybe I'm in the right vicinity of the right way now. But yeah, one of my least favorite things to do in Crawl is to go through one of these labyrinths, honestly. It takes a long time, you know your piety keeps ticking down, it feels like it's half luck-based because you might just happen on the right direction right away, and skill-based because if you're like me and you have a poor sense of direction, you could be in there a very, very long time. But ultimately, most of the time it's no big deal. I've never died because of a labyrinth that I can recall. And the equipment that you potentially can get there and resources you can get means it's almost always the right decision to go in. And then just suck it up and deal with the consequences. There have been times when recording videos for you guys that I've been tempted to cut the video and then restart after I found the exit, just to save you guys the oh my god, I walked right into him. And right away from him. And he didn't even know I was there. Shout a couple times to get his attention. Dude, seriously? Okay, there he is. He went the wrong way. Do I have a blink scroll? Now would be a really good time to use a blink scroll. Of course, I forgot that with control blink on the floor, I would end up right next to him just as likely as not. Oh well. Burnt a blink scroll for no reason, and made it out alive. And oh my god, this is some really good loot. Not counting the stuff I picked up automatically without seeing what it was, I got a new crossbow, which is potentially good, ruined gloves, which are potentially good, an amazing, unique cloak that gives me +4 evade, as well as an elemental resistance. Bloodstained dagger artifact. I mean, these are just fantastic items. Wow. I reserve judgment until I see what they actually do, but... Hell, I'm not going to go outside with my health this low. Let's just start trying this stuff on. Okay, +2 gloves of strength. Where have you been all my life? Thank you, guys. Definitely want to put on this cloak in favor of, you know, not having a cloak. It probably... I'm still quite stealthy, so yeah, presumably my bonus to stealth isn't going to be as bonusy anymore. This new dagger, holy, with Aurelec I don't need, and RN that I don't need. So really it's just a holy dagger, which will be nice for dealing with imps, but overall not going to replace my primary weapon on the basis of that alone. The new crossbow, on the other hand, might be good. Let's see what that is. Okay, I have a frostbow, a firebow, and a basebow. And the only reason to use the basebow is that it has the highest to hit bonus and damage bonus of the lot of them. Right, did I get any new rings? Did I get any new zappables? I did get a new zappable. I don't know what it is yet. Find out shortly. Heal up, then leave. Wow, totally worth it. Like, not even a question of whether or not it was worth it. Let's check to see what the treasure portal requires of me. 13 heal wound potions. Good God, that's gonna be a tall order. I might eventually have that many, but I've had a bad enough luck finding them to begin with, much less saving them. The one thing that you never want to do in such a situation is save the heal wound potions. The ones you get are you know, if you feel like you need to use them, and you're letting the temptation of possible future benefits stall you, that's just a recipe for disaster. It's also incredibly in line with human nature. To be like, well, maybe I can get away with not using the Heal Wounds potion because I need it for that. So, kudos to the developers for making that a portal. And of course, remember, if you've ever seen me open a treasure trove, it's not uncommon for me to go there and literally only find one thing I value, or not even that. Let's go with a poison. Max poison against you guys. Yeah, for the Lair of Beasts, definitely poison bolts are the way to go. But when you're out of those, it doesn't hurt to deal a little bit of bonus damage of a different stripe. Go ahead and eat one, and there's the Lair that I so desired to find. Oh my lord, I just walked into that, didn't I? Let's go with... Actually, I'm curious. Interesting. So the poison bolt fired from the ice crossbow dealt poison damage. It did not deal ice damage. So you do need to have base arrows, or base bolts to get the elemental bonuses, I guess. Which is fine, it's just... It's good to know how it works, so that when in a tight situation you can plan accordingly. Okay. Okay, now that the crossbow is good and solid, maybe it's time to start leveling up other weapons. Just because I have a gift-giving god, I'm nervous of confusing him as to what I want to be gifted. I'm going to switch over to the blowgun real quick and just use poison needles, since I am just relying on the draining effect of poison to kill these guys. And when I say draining, I don't mean literally draining. No. Eat. Okay, wield powerful crossbow, poison darts, or poison bolts, now wield fire, and kill the manticore. Alright, you know what? Give me the fireball with the bolts and just blow them away. Thank you. Ruined robe. Nope. No thank you. I'm using leather armor and I'm quite happy with it. Definitely want to switch to frostbow before fighting and choose targets that might have elemental... They don't have any elemental weakness to ice, they just have resistance to fire. That sucks. And it's rotating, obviously. I mean, I'm not an idiot, I know that. Okay, polymorph other was not what I wanted to try. What does J do? Slowing. Perfect. That's exactly what I want to do. Slow all of them down behind the first guy, and make sure that I'm using an acceptable form of ammo, and then just go nuts. Switch to firebow. Okay, that should drop them. And I got a new wand for my troubles, which I will test on this guy, who resists, presumably up to 3 times. Nope. Got him the second time, it was a confused wand. Alrighty, where's the kobold corpse? I just want to eat one of them. And definitely want to carry the poison needles with me, because, you know, got a lot of those. Use the poison needles to make him poisoned. Okay, you know what? This guy deals a lot of damage too. We need to go for the big guns. Trolls should be vulnerable to fire, but not in this game. That's more of a D&D thing, I guess. Let's just kill him. Grab all this other shit. Okay! that's clearing all of this stuff out. Into the lair. Starts off with point-blank shots to kill this guy. So overall, we're doing really good. The big concerns that I have right now are my dwindling bolt supply, but it's not actually a serious concern because I do have Okuwaru, which is a soft guarantee that you will always have bolts. One of my maxims is that when you enter the lair, you need to be prepared to deal with a few threats. You need to know how you will answer a few threats. Hydras, black mambas, water moccasins are a lesser version of the same threat, and now I'm running out, my train of thought's running away with me, but I think one more. Death Axe you don't have to have an answer to right away because you're not going to see them until much lower, but they're theoretically on the list too. If you don't have... and Fire Drakes. If you don't have an answer to how you will deal with seeing one of these enemies, you shouldn't be there. My answer right now is that I probably have enough damage to kill them outright. I have the ability to teleport away if things get dicey. I have poison, which I can use against some of them, and fire or ice, depending on what's necessary for the cold-blooded ones. And most importantly, I have a blink scroll for if shit really goes wrong. So I should be safe in the lair, and here I am. Oh, also resist poison, so there's the answer to the water moccasin. Who I can apparently just go toe-to-toe with and beat with a sword. That's always nice. Alright, just cut the sheep down to size. And again, I'm being a little bit more careless here than I should be, perhaps, but I have troll leather armor on, so I can get away with being a little bit more careless. Not in the context of being paralyzed, though. That I don't want to risk. Good old auto-fighting. Just hold down tab and watch everything die. We'll use poison needles. Fuck poison needles, man. Sword and or bolts. That's the way to go. Okay, that was a bad time to be doing what I was doing. I'm just gonna hit teleport. I have 7 of them. Obviously, I'm gonna end up being forced to use better resources if I hang around. Here, I'm gonna use a crossbow of ice. Give me the ice bow, please. And try and really just lay into this guy. You, I'm just not gonna let you trap me. I should be able to kill you with poison. Okay, let's charge up. No, let's crossbow the incoming snake. Man, it's like Legolas is what it is. Just I can nail things from distance as they approach, but I have my hand weapon as well for when anything breaks through my guard. Why would I go with Legolas and not Hawkeye? Because Hawkeye is fucking stupid. There, I said it. Seriously, of all the Avengers, he's the one who makes the least sense to me. I get Captain America better than I get him. Oh, come on, just die. Thank you. Yeah, that teleport was definitely a good move. If I had waited any longer, I would probably... I might have been able to get away without using it, but more likely than not, I would just have had to use even more resource to get out of my jam. This is gonna suck no matter what I do, so let's just get out something very powerful, blow him away, and then recover. I could cure out of sickness, but I'd rather just wait it out. I've got a very nice corner here, and anything that approaches me, I get to see it coming all the way away, and it dies. And then I can fight one-on-one, which is a good place for me to be. Also, I just got a nice refill on my poison bolts. That's always good. Shafted down from 2 to 3, that's no big deal. I was already fighting enemies of roughly this level, and I can easily... And it's just 1 floor back up, so that's no big deal. Though I do need to, you know, take the first staircase I see up. Ooh, it looks like an ant colony. Should probably switch to poison if it's really ants, because they're susceptible. Not just like Like, yeah, I think they take more damage from it, or are poisoned more easily or for longer or something. Most insects in this game are. Even the poisonous ones. Alright, that should about do it. For God's sakes, pick up the poison bolts. Yeah, pick up as many of them as... You know what? Half the ants haven't noticed me, half have. I should keep it that way. The less I have to fight at once, the better. Even if, you know, in theory I can handle a lot more than this. Switched over to my blowgun for a little while just to thin out their numbers. And now let's switch to my Sword of Venom. And pick up the stacks of bolts. Make a mass sacrifice. Okay. Yeah, the Sword of Venom is actually more than enough here. I don't need to be risking the taking the mulching that my ammo gets from mass usage. Also, I just got gifted another crossbow, so let's see what kind of crossbow we're talking about here. Holy crap, a +9 +0? So basically, this is the one to use when you need to hit something. It isn't actually that good a crossbow. It's not that much more damage, and damage is obviously the most important statistic. But honestly, I prefer it in this situation to the +1 that +2 that my previous crossbow had for damage. Definitely want to use it right now against this highly dodgy character. Go ahead and quiver me up the fire real quick. I'm gonna let these guys have it. I just don't have patience for these things anymore. Sacrifice all of them. Alright, that should end all of you. I will eat one of you. And sacrifice the rest of you. God, this is so... You guys, if you've never tried a build like this before, where you actually get to use the auto fight tab feature, along with ranged weapons as opposed to melee weapons, you really owe it to yourself to try it. It's very good when you get it going. And as long as you're willing to take the time to learn what the right angle and ratio, or not angle, but what the right play style is to get through the early game, once you get far enough, it too begins to run itself very nicely, rather than being a constant challenge. Just gonna have to cut this bush down to size. La 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 la. There we go. And I got shafted again. From 3 to 4. At least these haven't been deep shafts, so I can say. Because getting shafted long and hard and deep is never fun, if you get my meaning. I mean, I guess deep dwarves might not mind it as much. They're kind of used to that thing. They're used to being screwed over. In their caves. Clear, back up. I left behind a fair number of bolts that I'd like to retrieve, if nothing else. Bring out my fire bow. No, my frost bow. Because I'm fighting something that's vulnerable to cold. I also want to get them all in a nice line, so that I only have to fight one at a time. Oh, snap, another gift. And it's another crossbow. And it's a +2/0 crossbow of frost, so a strict improvement on my +1/0 variety, but not actually that great an improvement. I will say at this point I'm considering not using my main crossbow ever again. I can think of, if it's not necessary for maintaining poison, there's precious few reasons to hang on to it that I can think of. Also, I should probably be wielding my +9 firebow rather than my +2 ice bow unless there's a specific enemy that requires it. Like, my generic weapon should probably be my +9er. Until I have something that does more damage. Okay, let's go with the Sword of Venom, and let's also use Heroism before I start, just for the little bit of an edge that it will grant. It's probably not necessary, but Lord knows I'm going to be getting some of the experience back, or the piety back. And thanks to regeneration, I don't have to worry about taking poison damage over time. I'm regenerating faster. That's why I like Troll Leather so much. Especially at this stage of the game where I'm not obligated to find the best AC and top resistances. It's some of the best damage mitigation you can hope for. Just reasonably strong AC, low enough EV penalty that you can cast while wearing it, and no matter how you're dealt damage, as long as you survived, you're getting back health at an alarmingly fast rate. Not alarmingly fast, but significantly faster than your base rate. Also, if you take a short rest by hitting 5 or whatever between fights, now your game actually speeds up significantly in terms of turn count, because you're spending half the time that you normally would doing it. Oh, let's bring you guys to the forefront a little bit more. Mind you, this is all using my dodging skill, my fighting skill, and untrained swords. And I'm basically able to do all of this with just those abilities. So, yeah, Kobold's friggin' awesome, man. Hey, you, Sharky, come here. Never mind, Doggy, come here. Now, Sharky, come here. Should have had enough poison stack to kill them both. I think I did. That's a snapping turtle. I think they can be considered cold-blooded, but I think even more than that, I want the bonus to hit versus their AC. Okay, now that he's in his shell, let's poison him so that he doesn't regenerate fast, and then game. Cut him or burn him? Burn him. Burn him. That's another floor complete. Where's the rotting corpse? Give me that corpse. It's no longer good for sacrificing, but Saprivore 2 means I can eat it rotten. Okay, do I have ID scrolls? Yes. We need to start making use of those. I'm not interested in identifying the amulet, because whatever it is, I'm going to keep wearing Faith. Let's identify some of these potions. L, W, K, let's identify what's left of them. Strong poison. Well, that's just fantastic. Test quaff one of the remaining ones, and damn it, it was the one that I wasn't supposed to test. Dex minus, blurry vision, and frailty. Blurry vision can kill you. Blurry vision is the one where you think you read a scroll, but actually you didn't read it. And by you think, I mean you the player. You the character obviously knows, but if you're playing fast enough, you won't be able to tell. Well, the good news is I now have absolutely no compunction about test quaffing everything I come across, because I already paid for it with my bravado here. And I guess the really good news is I didn't really pay that high a price. Granted, blur vision is one of those things that can kill you in an acute situation pretty badly, but other than that, I got 3 negative mutations and none of them were game-ending. I mean, how good is that? Oh, perfect. Just auto-fight the lot of you guys. You can't do jack to me. Can't ID that, so just test wear it. Do I have remove curse? Yes, I do. Let's try it on. No ID. Let's go ahead and put life protection on. I got stoned. And then he died. Moral of the story, don't stone me. Another potion of curing. Because I'm too damn curious, what is the amulet that I'm giving up? Or the ring. The ring. See invisible. Ooh. Potentially very useful ring. and a fairly useless book, since I'm not going to be memorizing that much necromancy just to get animate. If I had a book of level 1 spells, that would be ideal. You know, a couple different utility spells that I can choose from. Let's switch to the Frostbow for this guy. I already promised myself that I was not going to try to go out of my way to conserve heal wounds potions for the treasure trove, and that's what I'm gonna do. Let's see, is there an enemy on the screen that I can't see? Just shoot it with the tab button. There we go. Now you're all dead. The piety is for my Okuwaru. Okay. My stack of 24 bolts has dwindled down to 15. It's when I'm gonna ditch the darts. I don't know why I'm still carrying them, honestly. I mean, I guess I don't technically have any throwables now, but I don't see myself running out of bolts either anytime soon. Switch back to the sword. That's the reason I'm running out of bolts. I haven't switched back yet. Actually, what am I missing in terms of armor? I don't want a shield. If there's better boots, I'll take them, but otherwise I'm actually pretty happy with everything I got so far. Down the floor. I don't dare fight him straight up, so let's just frost him and then attack him. Let's actually go crossbow and shoot him. And I just got 8 more poison bolts for my trouble. That's always nice. Switch to fire. No, switch to basic sword. Keep the sacrifices going to Oka. I definitely want to get as much weaponry as I can out of this phase of the game. Distressingly furry leather armor is very tempting, but it is in fact a straight up detriment. Thank God it's not cursed. Not that it would have been a huge deal, but yeah. I hate when I put on... So I've had like 3 neg artifacts this game that I've tried on. It's pretty lousy, honestly. Wait, is this a bolt trap? Oh sweet, it's a bolt trap. Let's try and disable it a few times until I get as many bolts out of it as I can. Okay, 2 more isn't a huge deal, but whatever. God, why couldn't that treasure trove have been for curing potions? I have so many of those now. Crossbow. No. Strong to hit crossbow with poison bolts. That's how you trail an elephant along. Okay, got him. And definitely sacrificing the elephants. That'll impress Okuwaru. Another bolt trap. Awesome. Although it is critting me pretty easily. Or doing significant damage, I guess. There is no such thing as a crit in this game. Basic bolts to fire, and then burn the snake. Wow. Fail to disarm a trap, lose most of your health. Quiver me that poison again. One of them should peel off, because this is the beauty of a high stealth character. Unless you shout or do something to intentionally break stealth, eventually the characters who are on screen with you one of them will roll high enough and might break files so that you can effectively just pull them away one at a time like this. God, I'm such a pesky little bastard. Dude, if I had to deal with a kobold who was doing to me what I'm doing to these elephants, I would be so pissed. And best of all, I'm getting all these high hit dice sacrifices for Okuwaru each time. Come to me, Papa. Or come to Papa, Mr. Elephant. I just threw an artifact dagger at him, And got 10 extra poison needles after all of that. Oh, you only... Yeah, when the meat goes rotten, then it's my meat. Awesome. Let's just stab you, and then... Actually, I'm just gonna eat you. Alright, next up on the list of can you handle me monsters, let's switch to ice. That's not ice. I, in fact, switched for no reason twice there. Let's start pelting him. That was way closer than I wanted it to be. So note to self, I'm not quite ready to deal with hydras yet. At this stage of the game, it's probably going to be to my benefit to switch over to my other helmet and learn to thingamabob, learn to evoke blink, just so I have it handy. In fact, can I train invocations or evocations here? I can. Good. Let's train evocations. And crossbow needs to be the lowest priority right now because it's obviously I'm gonna keep training it, but I think you hit a diminishing marginal returns point, and I think I'm probably past it. Once it hits 20, I'll turn it off until I look at an FAQ to decide what needs to be done. Fighting's great, dodging's great, diminishing marginal returns my foot. Armor, on the other hand, I could probably use some training on, but I don't want 5 skills on at once, so we'll just leave it like this for now. Kill the rat. Wield a basic crossbow with poison bolts and start shooting at things. Oh, what the hell. Just go medieval on their ass and use my basic sword to do it. Okay, there's the same kind of Hydra enemy. Quiver me some frost bolts and start going to town on it. That's much better. That's more like what I want to see. Ooh, a velocity bow. Nice. So that's a good enough reason for me to ditch the old crossbow behind. Velocity bow gets more shots off per... not per turn, per round, whatever. There's less delay between shots, so your damage capabilities increase. Those 6 spaces that enemies have to approach you take them even longer to approach you. Definitely want to go with poison on this sword. That way when he retreats, he doesn't get far enough. Oh, great. And I just blew my... whatever, I just blew a really good scroll on a really lousy weapon for it. On my off weapon. Which I guess, in fairness, I'm making a lot of use of the sword, so it doesn't hurt to give it some love. But, yeah. Clearly in this game, this run, my enchant weapon X scrolls are going to be very valuable. Let's use the velocity actually against him, and then use the actual bolts of frost. Okay, let's just use ordinary bolts. Should do well enough. If I recall correctly, velocity is the Vorpal brand, not a speed brand, so not only do you get to deal, I think it may be not more speed, but just a flat bonus to damage, calculated by a formula and with a roll to decide how much it deals, which is always nice. Alright, wipe out the rats, and that's Lair 5 cleared. Alright, I'm actually going to stop for now, guys, because it's gotten evening. I only wanted to play for a couple hours today, and I've done that. But all told, this video series is going pretty nicely. Kob-on-the-Cross has maxed out his Oka piety wearing an amulet, so he's going to be getting loads and loads of god gifts, and making good use of them, as you can see, because they're all in my pocket. Crossbow training is doing well, 19. Anyone who knows what the point at which you should stop training crossbows, because it's not going to get any better, is feel free to holler at me in the comments or whatever. I know that there's superior versions of crossbows to be had down the road, and ultimately bolts of penetration and stuff, which are really good weapons. But I'm not even close to there. Frankly, if I just clear the lair, it'll be a first. I don't think I've ever played a kobold before today, so, you know, take that too. enough chit chat. I hope you all enjoyed watching this so far. I'm not certain if I'm ever going to continue this series, but if I do, well, then I will. If not, then I won't. I've got a lot of other shit to do too. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I will see you guys next time.